Let us continue atomic structure. In atomic structure, we'll see electronic configuration of copper. Copper atomic number 29. Its electronic configuration is argon 3d10 4s 1. Why is it so? That we will see. First we will take copper atomic number 29. Electronic configuration will write 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2. Now remaining how many are there means 2 electrons are there, therefore 3d9. Now in this copper, this part underlying part is argon. Underlying part we can write it as argon. Remaining what means 4s2 3d9. Now before electron is filling, 4s is having lower energy, 3d is having higher energy. As soon as electron enters into 3d, energy of 3d becomes lower than 4s. So we will write 3d9 4s2. Okay, so copper electronic configuration is argon 3d9 4s2. Sir, what spectroscopic study says? Spectroscopic study says that copper electronic configuration is argon 3d10 4s1. Argon 3d10 4s1. That means from 4s, one electron enters into 3d. From 4s, one electron enters into 3d. Therefore, copper electronic configuration becomes argon 3d10 4s1, we can say. So, electronic configuration of copper, we said. Electronic configuration of copper we completed. Sorry. Now we will see why is it so. What is the reason we will see. Why the copper electronic configuration is 3d10 4s1 but not 3d9 4s2. Now this 3d9 4s2 means this we have written as per Aufbau principle. This is obeying Aufbau principle. This electronic configuration obeys Aufbau principle. But this electronic configuration is not obeying Aufbau principle. Therefore, it is violating Aufbau principle. It is violating Aufbau principle. Why it is violating Aufbau principle? Before filling 4s, electrons enter into 3d. Therefore, it is this configuration is violating Aufbau principle, we can say. Sir, why this is a correct configuration? Why it is incorrect configuration as per spectroscopy? That we will see. Now we will take 3d. 3d contains 5 orbitals. 3d contains 5 orbitals. Those 5 orbitals will write, and the 9 electrons present, those 9 electrons will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, singly filled with parallel spins. Then pairing 6, 7, 8, 9, pairing. Okay, then 4s2. 4s contains 2 electrons. 4s contains 2 electrons. The 2 electrons we have given. Then we'll see here 3d. 3d contains 5 orbitals. Those 5 orbitals will write. 3d contains 5 orbitals. Okay. 4s contain 1 orbital. Now we will write electrons. 3d contains 10 electrons. First electron, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. 4s contains 1 electron. That 1 electron is here. Now, here 3d contains one orbital contains 1 electron, rest of the orbitals contain paired electrons, therefore we can say it is partially filled. This is what means partially filled, we can say. Partially filled configuration. Here 3d contains 10 electrons, each orbital contains pair of electrons, therefore all the orbitals are having same number of electrons, therefore it is completely filled. We can say this configuration is completely filled configuration. So this configuration is a symmetric configuration. It is symmetric. Whereas this is not symmetric. Why? Because one orbital contains 1 electron, rest of the orbitals contains pair of electrons. So it is not symmetric. It is not symmetric in the sense for this configuration stability is low. It is symmetric in the sense for this configuration stability is high. So this electronic configuration has higher stability when compared to this electronic configuration. Okay. So 3d9 4s2 configuration is having lesser stability. 3d10 4s1 configuration is having higher stability. So based on this symmetry we said. Next we will see based on exchange energy, we will see based on exchange energy. Now, which electrons will go for exchange? Degenerate orbitals electrons will go for exchange. And how the spin should be there? Parallel spin electrons will go for exchange. So parallel spin electrons means here clockwise is 5. In this 3D, clockwise is 5 electrons. So 5C2 combination. So 5 into 4 by 1 into 2, therefore 10 exchanges. And anti-parallel, that means anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise, how much means 4. Therefore 4C2. So 4 into 3 by 1 into 2. So that 6 exchanges. Totally 16 exchanges. Whereas here 5 clock, 5 anti-clock. Therefore 20 exchanges. So here 20 exchanges. Whereas here 16 exchanges. Therefore where exchange energy is more, exchange energy is high here. Exchange energy is high here, whereas exchange energy is low here. Exchange energy low. Exchange energy high means stability is high. Therefore, this configuration has higher stability when compared to this configuration. Sir. Next, we'll see here 4s contains 2 electrons. So this electron is repelling this electron. So this 4s electron is repelling this 4s electron. Therefore, this 4s electron screening this 4s electron. This 4s electron screening this 4s electron. Whereas here if you see 4s contains 1 electron. Whereas 3D contains pair of electrons. Here 3D contains 1 electron. Off field. 3D contains 1 electron. Here 3D contains pair of electrons. So this 3D screens this 3D. So where screening effect is less, D is screening another D less extent, whereas S is screening another X to more extent. Therefore, here we can say, screening effect is screening effect is what means screening effect we can say low, we can say screening effect high, we can say. So that here screening effect is low, here screening effect is high. So how this point we are saying, see that 4s screens 1 4s electron, 1 4s electron screens another 4s electron, to higher extent, whereas 1 3D electron, 1 3D electron screens another 3D electron, to lesser extent, okay. 1 4s electron screens another 4s electron to higher extent. 1 3D electron screens another 3D electron to lesser extent. Therefore, we can say here screening effect is low, here screening effect is high. Therefore, this configuration has lower screening effect, this configuration has higher screening effect. Lower screening effect means attraction is more, stability is more. Higher screening effect means attraction is less, stability is low. Therefore, this configuration 3D10 4s1 has higher stability, 3D9 4s2 is lower stability. So 3D10 4s1 is the correct configuration for copper, whereas 3D9 4s2 is a incorrect configuration of copper. So 3D10 4s1, though it is violating Aufbau principle, it is the configuration for copper. Therefore, copper electronic configuration is a anomalous electronic configuration. Copper electronic configuration is what means anomalous electronic configuration. So anomalous electronic configuration of copper is what means argon 3D10 4s1. It is a copper electronic configuration. So copper anomalous electronic configuration is 3D10 4s1. This we are explaining using what in the sense symmetry. Another one is exchange energy. Another one is screening effect. Okay, though this configuration is violating Aufbau principle, this is the correct configuration, we can say. Okay, atomic structure theory part is completed. Now we will go for a sums in atomic structure. We will go for sums in atomic structure. Let us take Let us take a sum in atomic structure. The dissociation energy the dissociation energy of hydrogen is 430.53 kilojoule per mole. If hydrogen is exposed to radiation energy, exposed to radiation energy of wavelength of wavelength 253.7 nanometer. What percent of radiant energy? What percent of radiant energy will be converted into kinetic energy? Now, first, what is given in the sense the dissociation energy of hydrogen is 430.53 kilojoule per mole. Sir, what is the dissociation energy? That we'll see. What is the dissociation energy of hydrogen? Sir, first we will take hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas contains hydrogen molecules. Hydrogen gas contains hydrogen molecules. Now we will take one hydrogen molecule will take. How one hydrogen molecule is there, that we will see. It is one hydrogen atom. They are overlapping to give what means hydrogen molecule. This hydrogen atom how to give means this nucleus contains one proton and it is having one electron. That electron in the form of cloud. This nucleus contains one proton and it is having one electron. That electron is present in the form of cloud. Now, next see, this nucleus is attracting this electron cloud. This electron cloud is attracting this nucleus. Then this nucleus is attracting this electron cloud. This electron cloud is attracting this nucleus. Due to attraction, they are coming closer and both electron clouds come in contact. Then both electron clouds penetrate internally. Therefore, both electron clouds penetrate to partial extent. That is called overlapping. That overlapping I will give you. Here electron cloud of one atom. It is an electron cloud of another atom. Now in this place, two electron clouds penetrate with each other. This is called overlapping. This is called bonding. Here nucleus of one atom, nucleus of another atom. Now this nucleus is attracting this overlapped electron cloud. This nucleus also attracting this overlapped electron cloud. This overlapped electron cloud is attracted by both nuclei. Due to this attraction is nothing but bond. That means due to this attraction, these two atoms are bounded with each other. Due to this attraction. It is called molecule. Sir. Now, dissociation energy of hydrogen molecule. What is the meaning of dissociation energy? That we will see. Now, we will take this molecule. This molecule, in this molecule here attraction is there. If we break this attraction, this molecule will convert into atoms. If we break here attraction is there, overlapping is there. Due to this attraction, these two atoms are bounded with each other. This attraction if we break, then this molecule converts into atoms. To break this attraction, what we have to do means we have to supply energy. So let us supply energy into this place. We are supplying energy into this place. This energy breaks this attraction. So since attraction is broken, this atom goes separately, this atom goes this side. So these two atoms went one on left side, one on right side. Therefore, molecule has converted into atoms. This energy is called dissociation energy because molecule dissociate into atoms. So this energy is called dissociation energy, otherwise bond dissociation energy. So dissociation energy means this is the energy required to dissociate the molecule into atoms. Sir. So what is dissociation energy? We got it. So dissociation energy of hydrogen is given as 430.53 kilojoule per mole. What is the meaning of that? We will see. Now dissociation energy of hydrogen is given. So dissociation energy of hydrogen gas is equal to how much given in the sense 430.53 kilojoule. 430 430.53 kilojoule is given. 53 kilojoule per mole. Okay, dissociation energy of hydrogen gas is given 430.53 kilojoule per mole. Sir, what is the meaning of this unit? Now, here per mole in the sense 1 mole of hydrogen gas requires this much energy for dissociation. So, what is the meaning of this? We will see. This meaning is 1 mole of hydrogen molecules require this much energy, that is 430.53 kilojoule to dissociate into atoms. Okay, so 1 mole of hydrogen molecules requires this much energy to dissociate into atoms. Okay, so 1 mole in the sense how many molecules we'll see. 1 mole in the sense how many molecules. 1 mole means Avogadro number of molecules. So 6.023 into 10 power 23 hydrogen molecules require 430.53 kilojoule of energy to dissociate into hydrogen atoms. Therefore, this many molecules, Avogadro number of molecules require this much energy. Now we will see one molecule requires how much energy. We will see. Okay, so now we will see one molecule requires what is the energy. One hydrogen molecule requires dash energy to dissociate into two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so the Avogadro number of molecules require this much energy. So one molecule requires how much energy, that we'll see. So one molecule requires how much energy means this 430.53 kilojoule by Avogadro number, this much energy. One molecule requires this much energy for dissociation. Sir, let us convert this will simplify. Now this 430.53 kilojoule we will convert into joule. 1 kilojoule equal to 10 power 3 joule. So this 6.023 into 10 power 23 will write. So this on simplification gives how much in the sense 7.15 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So one hydrogen molecule requires this much energy for dissociation. One hydrogen molecule requires this much energy for dissociation. Okay, now we will see the sum again. Here first sentence, first line is over. Now we will go for second sentence. Now if hydrogen is exposed to radiation energy of wavelength 253.7 nanometer, that means now to the hydrogen gas radiation is given. That radiation is having what wavelength? 253.7 nanometer. Okay, so now we will consider that this hydrogen molecule, one hydrogen molecule is absorbing one quantum. Then what is the energy it has got? That we will see. One hydrogen molecule has absorbed one quantum. Then what is the energy it has got? That we will see. Okay, so now we will consider one hydrogen molecule. One hydrogen molecule absorbs absorbs one quantum of wavelength how much means 253.7 nanometer. 253.7 nanometer. Okay. So one hydrogen molecule absorbs one quantum of wavelength 253.7 nanometer. We will consider one hydrogen molecule absorbing one quantum cell. So what is the energy got by hydrogen molecule? Okay, that we'll see. Energy got by hydrogen molecule. So energy got by hydrogen molecule due to absorption of due to absorption of one quantum of radiation. Okay, that we'll see. So E is equal to hc by lambda. E is called Planck's constant. Planck's constant is 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. C is called the velocity of light in vacuum, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Next, wavelength. Wavelength is given 253.7 nanometer. Nanometer we are converting into meter. 1 nanometer equal to 10 power minus 9 meter. So from this we substituted everything in a SI system. So we will get energy. Energy is how much in the sense 7.83 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. This much. Okay. So this hydrogen molecule. One hydrogen molecule is absorbing one quantum. Therefore, hydrogen molecule is getting this much energy. This much energy we can say. So one hydrogen molecule gets 7.83 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule of energy. Joule of energy due to absorption of one quantum. Due to absorption of one quantum, we can say. So in this, so one hydrogen molecule gets this much energy. In this, it utilizes how much for dissociation? See, one hydrogen molecule requires this much energy for dissociation. This much energy for dissociation. Okay. So one hydrogen molecule gets 7.83 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule of energy from one quantum. From one quantum in which 7.15 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule of energy is utilized for dissociation into two hydrogen atoms. Now the remaining energy in the sense this much it is absorbing. 7.83 into 10 power minus 19 it is absorbing from quantum. How much utilized for dissociation means this much, 7.15 into 10 power minus 19. 7.15 into 10 power minus 19 is utilized. So 7.15 into 10 power minus 19 is utilized for dissociation. 7.83 into 10 power minus 19 it got from quantum. So rest of the energy is how much? Rest means difference. The remaining energy is with what? With these two hydrogen atoms in the form of what? In the form of kinetic energy. So now the remaining energy is with the two hydrogen atoms in the form of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy possessed by two hydrogen atoms which is from quantum, which is from quantum, is how much in the sense, let us subtract, so this much energy. So two hydrogen atoms having kinetic energy which is from quantum is how much means 0.68 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So this much energy two hydrogen atoms having as a kinetic energy. Sir, now what they are asking we will see. Now in this question what they are asking, that point we will see. Now see that what percentage, you see that last about one sentence you see, what percent of radiant energy will be converted into kinetic energy? What percent of radiant energy will be converted into kinetic energy? Sir, now we will see regarding that. Now we can say that one molecule, now we can say that one molecule of hydrogen, one hydrogen molecule gets this much energy from quantum. One hydrogen molecule gets this much energy from quantum. Now, one hydrogen molecule gets this much energy from quantum. One hydrogen molecule gets this much energy from quantum. Next step. So, one hydrogen molecule gets this much energy from quantum that we got. Next step. One hydrogen molecule utilizes this much energy for dissociation. Next step. One hydrogen molecule, after dissociating, it becomes two hydrogen atoms. Two hydrogen atoms having this much energy as kinetic energy from quantum. Now they are asking what is the percentage of kinetic energy from the quantum. What is the percentage of kinetic energy from the quantum they are asking. Sir, now we will say percentage of kinetic energy from quantum, that is equal to energy, kinetic energy from quantum, by energy of quantum into 100. So kinetic energy from quantum by energy of quantum into 100. Kinetic energy from quantum we got, that is 0.68 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Energy of quantum how much in the sense 7.83 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Percentage therefore into 100. So this on simplification we are getting a 8.68%. So kinetic energy is how much means 8.68% we can say. Okay, let us go for next question. Next question will take iodine molecule dissociate into atoms. After absorbing light of wavelength 4500 angstrom. If one quantum of radiation, is observed by each molecule, calculate the kinetic energy of hydrogen. Calculate the kinetic energy of iodine atoms. Then bond energy of iodine. Iodine is formula for iodine is I2. Bond energy of iodine is 240 kilojoule per mole. Now see, this sum is what means exactly similar like the previous sum. There hydrogen molecule, here iodine molecule, that's all. Okay, so there is no difference. So I will give the answer for this one. You try this one and get the answer. Okay, so solution I will give: kinetic energy per iodine atom. Kinetic energy per iodine atom is equal to 0.216 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Okay, you work out and get this answer. It is the answer for this question. You work out and get it. It is the same like previous problem. Okay, we will go to next sum. Calculate the energy required. Calculate the energy required. Calculate the energy required to excite 1 liter of hydrogen gas. 1 liter of hydrogen gas at 1 atmosphere and 298 Kelvin to the first excited state of atomic hydrogen. The energy for the dissociation of of hydrogen bond is H2. H2 is having bond, that bond is 436 kilojoule per mole. Sir, now we will see that here what is the data given in the sense 1 liter of hydrogen gas, 1 atmosphere of hydrogen gas, 298 Kelvin of hydrogen gas. So from this what we can find, you see 1 liter of hydrogen gas, 1 atmosphere of hydrogen gas, 298 Kelvin of hydrogen gas. From this what we can find that you see. Now we will consider hydrogen gas as ideal gas. We will consider hydrogen gas as ideal gas. We will consider. Then we will take ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. We can take. Now we will take the pressure of hydrogen gas. Pressure of hydrogen gas is how much? Means 1 atmosphere. Volume of hydrogen gas will substitute to 1 liter. Then number of moles of hydrogen gas. R value is 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole into temperature given 298 Kelvin. Temperature given 298 Kelvin. Now you see that what are the units getting cancelled? We will see. Now this atmosphere cancel, liter cancel, per Kelvin cancel. What is the rest? Means per mole. Therefore number of moles we will get in moles, we will get it. Sorry, we will simplify this one. We are getting number of moles of hydrogen. So number of moles we will get. Number of moles is how much? Means 0.0409 moles. Okay, that means what this statement says here, you see that now 1 liter of hydrogen gas, 1 liter of hydrogen gas at 1 atmosphere and 298 Kelvin as how many moles of hydrogen? Means this many moles, 0.0409 moles of hydrogen molecules. This many molecules present. Okay, so 1 liter of hydrogen gas at 1 atmosphere and 298 Kelvin as 0.0409 moles of hydrogen molecules. Okay, next sentence we will take here. Dissociation of hydrogen. Dissociation of hydrogen is this much. This sentence we will take. Okay, so here this sentence is what means dissociation energy of hydrogen gas is how much? Means 436 kilojoule per mole. What is the meaning of this? Per mole means 1 mole. So 1 mole of hydrogen molecules, 1 mole of hydrogen molecules require 436 kilojoule 436 kilojoule of energy, 436 kilojoule of energy for dissociation into hydrogen atoms, okay. So 1 mole of hydrogen molecules require this much energy for dissociation. Now here how many moles given, you see in this last, you see left side bottom last 0.0409 moles of hydrogen. So 0.0409 moles of hydrogen molecules require a dash amount of energy for dissociation into hydrogen atoms. In this dash what will come, you see that. Now in this dash what will come in the sense 436 by 0.0409 kilojoule, this much energy. Therefore we can say here from this no, not in the denominator, into it will come. Here how much energy in the sense 436 into 0.0409. So we can say 0.0409 moles of hydrogen molecules require how much energy, means 17.83 kilojoule of energy for dissociation into hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this many moles of hydrogen molecules require this much energy for dissociation into hydrogen atoms, that we can say. Dissociation into this much energy. So this much energy is required for dissociation. So this much energy is required for dissociation. Okay. Now we got hydrogen atoms. Then these hydrogen atoms should go for excitation. They are asking that excitation. They are asking. Now you see that what they are asking. Say calculate the energy required to excite 1 liter of hydrogen gas at 1 atmosphere and 298 Kelvin to the first excited state of atomic hydrogen. Here excitation to where? First excited state. First excited state will take. So hydrogen atom is going for excitation. Hydrogen atom is going for excitation to where, in the sense first excited state. First excited state means n is equal to 2. That means in this one electron present in n is equal to 1, it is jumping into which place, means n is equal to 2. For this what is the energy required, that we will see. So now energy required for excitation of how many hydrogen atoms, in the sense this many moles of hydrogen molecules, means hydrogen atoms is into 2. Okay, into 2. So energy required for excitation of 0.0409 into 2 moles of hydrogen atoms to jump from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2 is how much? For that Rydberg's formula we will take. Rydberg's formula is what? 1 by lambda is equal to RH into Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. It is for one atom. Okay, now we will convert this into energy. So multiply here Hc, here also Hc. Hc by lambda is equal to N, energy. It is for one atom. Now we want for this many moles. Therefore now you write E is equal to, that means Hc by